Welcome, Sagittarius. Yeah, this one's for you. This is Tarot Lumination with your August 2017 love and relationship report, okay? It's really mostly about the energy instead of like, oh, am I going to hook up, or when am I going to meet the love of my life, or things like that, okay? So it helps a lot if you could read the introduction to the playlist video. It's like the 13th video. It helps to explain the spread and why we use this particular spread, why Tarot Lumination uses it. And we could do other spreads, I guess, but this is the one we're using here. And the whole idea is that it's about a significant relationship or energies in a relationship where there is a certain amount of investment, where it's understood or maybe not understood that there is a yourself, there is an another, and then there is the relationship itself. And the relationship has an identity and structure of its own. And hopefully in a good, healthy relationship, the structure, which is, I think of it as a crucible, is very strong and can withstand immense pressures that occur inside the context of a relationship. Now, if you want, you can read this for singles because you're still radiating energy of relationship anyway, because we're always in a state of relationship to some degree, even though it might not be there in your third dimensions right now. It could be existing in the fifth and seventh dimensions, okay? So another thing, of course, you've done this before. Read for your sun, moon, and rising. You know that already. And also, because of these eclipses and everything, it would really help if you could read the astrobabble thing about the eclipses and the Leo North Node playlist as well, because it's very significant right now. Sagittarius, you've got Saturn going in retrograde right now, so you might feel a little bit of hurry up and wait, but you know, general Sagittarius, you've got a bit of a luck thing going because you have that big fat fire trine working on your behalf. Let's just get on with it, okay? Come on. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Here's the cut. We're just going to do a weird cut to break up the energy, all right? Now we're just going to do the reading. All right, so here we go. By the way, thanks for choosing Tarot Illumination. Thank you very, very much. Here's, let's say, your energy. Here's a significant other in some form or another, a wish or an actual fact. Here's going much deeper into you. Here's going much deeper into another. Here's the energy of the relationship itself at this moment, going through August, okay? And here's the momentum coming out of it, okay? Now, we're going to pull the bottom card in a second because that's kind of like supportive energy. It's like the weather outside your front door. You have to deal with it, whatever it is. Rain, shine, cold, hot, windy, still, humid and muggy, freezing, whatever it is, okay? You just deal with it because you have to, all right? So let's have a look. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is very fortuitous, okay? You might be in a situation, Sagittarius, where like the supportive energy around you in the context of relationship is opportunistic, okay? We have the Ace of Pentacles. It is a card of sacred opportunity, and it is your right and your duty and obligation to accept this gift from heaven, okay? It's almost like you're insulting the angels when you do not accept this. Now, they're not going to reprimand you or chide you or, you know, become vindictive because you don't accept it, because you might not be aware. It's just that they do have feelings, oddly enough, and they're like, oh, well, Sagittarius didn't get it. I guess maybe next time they'll understand. But the point is to understand that you have real life Ace of Pentacles, nuts and bolts, tangible opportunities here for an awesome new start, an awesome new beginning, which relates very closely to the Leo North Node. We're in a very, very powerful Leo energy vortex right now, very much about becoming the shiny new self, okay? The Sagittarius Mark II, okay? So let's have a look at you. We have, okay, there's your reading. It's done. Everything's awesome. Wonderful. Bye. Thank you. Just kidding. Ha, 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 ha. So Sagittarius, you might be feeling it. You might be one of the lucky people who are actually feeling it. Like, this is actually working, man. Woo! I'm in the right place at the right time, being the right person. I am the Sag that I'm supposed to be. And I actually kind of like being this version of Sag. Now, this is a general reading for love relationships, so you might not all be feeling it. You might be thinking, God, I wish I was all of this. I wish I could feel this way right now. This is the Sun card. It's the card of like ultimate happiness. Very pure, very, very simple. Like idiot happiness, like insane happiness, you know, running around naked in the park, streaking across the football field. I don't know, doing silly pranks on people just to see how much fun it is to watch their faces. Just silly fun, super, super happy. And it's big love. It's big, big, happy, happy heart energy. It's like Leo energy almost because of that sun. So it's like, even if things turn out here in this reading as though it's just like, oh my God, it's a poop storm, you know, there's still something about you inside you, Sagittarius, which is completely bulletproof. It's like nobody can touch you. Nobody can destroy your inner core of happiness. And you're not going to even let that happen. Even if everything else here says that it's a freaking nightmare, you still have the Sun card deep, deep inside you. Okay, Sagittarius? And you know that. And so if this all turns out to be very challenging, you know that the challenge is actually a call to action for you to take advantage of this and learn something and turn it all into an awesome opportunity. All right? So that's actually kind of cool. So this is boing, 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 boing right now. It's not a Cups card, but it is just raw power of love. It's love power. It's the healing power of love in a form of, let's say, divine radiance, okay, as opposed to the emotional or the passions or the spirits. This is just the raw. This is the whole freaking light. This is just like a lighthouse beacon with every frequency in it, okay? It's almost blindingly bright. So let's have a look at the significant other. Okay, well, you are relating to someone who obviously has plans and ambitions and can see this and smell this and somehow sense this on you, possibly as an opportunity for themselves. So in a very kind of discreet way, nothing too in your face. You might be relating with someone here who's like, actually this isn't too bad. It's not such a bad thing hanging out with this Sag person. I'm actually seeing how this works for me, how I can actually, like, I'm not saying piggyback myself on their ultimate joy and happiness, but almost. And that kind of works for me, and they certainly don't seem to mind. So this is kind of cool. This is my Three of Wands here, and I can actually see this working for me. Awesome, awesome, excellent. In fact, if I'm honest with myself, this is kind of what I was planning and hoping for in the first place. So it's kind of cool because in the context of the relationship, Sagittarius, remember that this is your reading about you in a significant relationship or in relationship of some substance with another. These are the cards of the other. The other person might also be aware of this potential, of this opportunity for substance and manifestation and like locking it down, making it real, okay, in a way that works for them. In other words, what happens sometimes in a very healthy relationship, you have two individuals who are fully integrated about who they are and how they are and why they are as an individual, and they recognize the same thing in the other. And so they think, wow, well, we're kind of a good match, so let's make it official. And so you build something together, you invest in something together where you have a structure, you have a foundation in which both of you can be yourselves. And it's not all about what can I get out of you and what can I get out of you. It's how are we going to make this work for ourselves and each other so it's mutually self-empowering, so that me, the significant other over here, gets to enjoy your love and light for this particular time period. And you, Sagittarius, are more than happy to share that light with a significant other, because you kind of get off on the feeling like, wow, my significant other is getting off on me. That's kind of good because I can see how they're growing. And the whole idea about a deeply loving relationship is ultimately very, very deep down. It's about the spiritual evolution of ourselves and each other. So this has a lot of mutual support energy here. Opportunistic for both sides here. That's what it seems so far. Let's have a look. Let's keep going. We don't want to, like, get too optimistic too quickly, because it's almost like falling into that Sagittarian energy, like, oh, it's awesome all the time, man. Yeah. Woo! I'm trying to be neutral here and a balanced, responsible reader for you, okay, Sagittarius? Because we all have challenges deep down somewhere. I'm not seeing them yet, but we still have 4 more cards. Okay. So even though, okay, so they're looking away. Okay, you're a significant other might be looking over, and they might be thinking like, this is so cool for me. This is great for me. Awesome. I'm so glad I'm in this awesome relationship with this Sagittarius, and they love me for as I am, and they allow me to go off and be myself, even in the context of a relationship. That is so cool. It's extremely liberating. In fact, having a really healthy having a really healthy relationship, good investments, good foundations, can be the most liberating experience on earth, as opposed to the most crippling, suffocating, challenging, just awful experience, which happens quite frequently, as I'm sure many of you know. Anyway, let's have a look deeper inside of you, Sagittarius. What's going on? Okay, so deep inside, dear Sagittarius, we might have to admit that there are some issues that are just being very, 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 very cleverly set aside. This doesn't exist. I am this awesome person all the time. But deep inside, Sagittarius, we know there are issues. I knew it. I mean, okay, I don't want to pop your bubbles here, Sagittarius, but deep down it might be an awareness that you still have a lot of issues that need to be resolved. But let's be all like wooey here. Let's just say this is all about the Saturn retrograde in Sagittarius. It's grinding back through your sign, maybe even tightly to your degree, where it's exposing all the deeply, deeply buried issues, kind of like a sort of, you know how Mercury goes retrograde? It's the same thing, but on a bigger scale, because it's Saturn, where Saturn is grinding through and taking you through this, where you realize that there are a whole bunch of issues that are actually, some of them very near the surface, some of them very deeply buried, that are simply not being addressed, okay? Because everything is just hunky-dory right now. So why bother with all this crap, you know? On the other hand, it is still there. So deep down, Sag, I'm sure you know this, deep down you're aware of this, that at some point we're going to have to deal with this stuff. And you might be neglecting it right now. You might be feeling like, in some ways, tested, and that's the Saturn retrograde. Let's just blame it on the planets for now, as opposed to the relationship or a sucky situation in a relationship. Let's just say this is you and your energy, and deep down you're dealing with the evolutionary shifts that are coming upon all of us simply because of the way the planets move around. And deep down inside, you know this. It's just that you're not in the mood to deal with it right now. But it's still there. There are a lot of, let's just call slivers, or like shrapnel, from possibly years and decades even of unresolved wounds, unhealed wounds. They call them non-healing wounds, perhaps deep conditioning from childhood, misperceptions, the way you were raised, the way you were taught how to be this, how to think that, how to do that in such and such a way, that you could call these like a whole pile of bad habits, a whole pile of dysfunctional, obsolete, redundant attitudes, perceptions, and beliefs and understandings, okay? And you know this, and you're going to deal with it, but obviously you don't want to deal with it right now. Okay. All right. I don't see this really harming the relationship in any way, but this is a bit of a problem. All right, Sag, let's just admit it. Okay. You don't want to jeopardize all this yummy good stuff. Okay. So, what about the other? Okay, let's have a look. Remember, we are operating under the energy and the environment of the Ace of Pentacles. So, you might be in a really good opportunity right now to actually maybe at least start, you know, admitting that these issues are there and starting to deal with them. Because the more you deal with these and you do the healing processes, the happier and richer and fuller that your life will be. So let's have a look deeper inside a significant other. Okay, so we got some really strong cards here. Okay, Sagittarius, like with a significant other, it's like, to me, here as your reader, it feels like they are really, really enjoying the relationship of simply being in a relationship with you. Almost like, it's like, wow, it's just like, it's so cool. I'm so glad I'm hanging out with this Sag person. I don't know if they understand it, but I am just ego tripping on my own cool stuff that I want to do and how I want to be. And I know it's going to happen because I can feel it and I can smell it, because that's the Ace of Pentacles out there. And it's just a tap on my shoulder saying, yeah, it's there for you. And I'm going to go for it and I'm going to grab it, and I can see it coming and I know it. And I always knew it was going to happen anyway. So like, the significant other, Sagittarius, is aware of all of this, and they are soaking it up like a sponge, okay? Because deep inside, it is allowing them to come into their own strength and their own power in a way that they may have never had a chance to do before, or may in a way that they've been wanting and wishing for a long time. So in some ways, Sagittarius, you might almost be operating like an angel in this relationship, even if you're not aware of it. So much sunlight is like pouring out of you. Even if it feels like deep down, even just below the surface, you're struggling with stuff. And even if your day-to-day three-dimensional life might not feel all that, somehow this sun energy is pouring out of you somewhere, and it is all over this relationship, okay? And the other party knows it, and they are taking full advantage of it, because they can feel that this is so liberating and opportunistic for them to like reboot and remanifest themselves, that they're going to go with it. Because all of us at some point have to go through these type of upgrades where, let's say this is the energy of a significant other in their primal animal egoic state. And deep down, they know they have to evolve, which means a little bit of surrender to the will of heaven and operating at higher frequencies where they can become their bigger, brighter selves. And it isn't just such a personal relationship where it's about, oh, I love you, you love me. What can we get out of each other? What are we going to do today or tomorrow on the weekend? Is it going to be a barbecue, a family thing? Are we going to do this? Or when are we going to get a new house? Whatever that might be. This is much more about a deep spiritual evolutionary leap, where you're working, you Sagittarius, just by being you, are in a situation where the other party is benefiting really well, because they are seeing this as an opportunity for them to upgrade themselves, to, even though it might be humbling for them, to give up some of their more animal raw ego drives of self-gratification and align that raw power with the will of heaven. That's a big deal. That's a huge evolutionary kind of step that all of us have to do at some time. But it seems to be happening right now for you, Sagittarius, with a significant other in the relationship. In other words, it's not, you're already being awesome. What I was trying to say is that there is a significant other who is really appreciating this, okay? Because it's really working for them. Even though you might be struggling, if you're honest with yourself, on the inside. So let's have a look. What about the nature of the relationship itself right now? The energy of the relationship itself. Let's have a look. Okay. So remember, this is your reading, Sagittarius, about you in your relationship situations with others, okay? Or a significant other, or a hopeful significant other. It might be that, like in back down here in three-dimensional terms, in terms of the actual day-to-day living experience of the relationship, despite all this wonderful stuff here and the big picture opportunities here, it might be that during this month of a lot of transformational changes with these eclipses. Remember, we got the Leo new moon in end of July, Leo new moon eclipse at the end of August, and in the middle, early August, we have the full moon eclipse. That's a lot of Leo firepower energy, okay? So they are totally tuned into it. But for you yourself, just below the surface of you, Sagittarius, you might actually be feeling as though, if you're honest with yourself, there are a lot of issues that have to be dealt with inside of yourself. And you might be aware that this is affecting your experience of the relationship in a way that would make you feel as happy as the other person. I mean, they might be just having a blast. And you are on this, like, as far as all appearances are concerned, you're having a blast. But deep inside, there are issues. It's not perfect, let's put it this way. So for you, you might experience this relationship situation as being like highly charged at the moment. There might be a lot of, let's say, frictional type energy. It's not abusive, it's not negative, it's not destructive. It just might be that there's a lot of energy being exchanged between you and a significant other in terms of like heated discussions about, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Why did you do that? When are we going to do that? I thought you wanted to. Or like, oh, I'm totally here for you. Oh yeah, but I'm totally here for you. And don't let me. It's just very animated, very dramatic type of energy that could come out and feel as though it's almost at the point of being combative. It's almost like that fun energy of, like, you know, when you like ribbing each other, like, ha ha ha. I love you so much, you tease, you like frisky thing, you like, and deep down you both know you have issues. You both know that there are challenges in the relationship, but you still love it anyway. And it's almost like you're enjoying the sport of the relationship, the actual passion and excitement of being in a relationship that has real potential, where you can actually smell the opportunities of evolution and how it's actually happening for both of you. Because it's really good for you. It's really good for them. Despite your internal challenges, Sag, and despite the, let's say, the excitement and all the purposeful, deliberate engagement that's going on between you. In other words, it's almost like, it's like you're deliberately challenging each other to be the best that you can be. Just like, come on, it's just like you saying, come on, sweetheart. Come on, you can do this. I know you've got this in you. Come on, you can do it. And the other one says, yeah, I know, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm getting it. Thank you so much. I love you, Sag, because you're so sunny and bright and full of that for me. And I really appreciate that. And then through the very gentle, let's say, subtle aspects of reflection, you're realizing, like, actually, I'm glad they bought that, because honestly, the truth is, I've got a lot of issues. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oops. And so Sagittarius, I'm very glad that you get it and that you're getting off on this relationship with me, and we're making the best of this relationship, and we're goading each other and pushing each other, and it's exciting. We're both evolving. Let's just hope, like, we don't blow any fuses, okay, or skid off the road here, okay, because it's pretty good stuff. Let's have a look. Let's see where this is kind of leading. The momentum. Let's just say the momentum. Oh, it's luscious. And let's just say this is very fruitful. Okay, let's just say, put a positive spin on here, that for you, Sagittarius, the relationship itself, the relationship itself is very spirited, lively, and let's say bountiful, fruitful, and very, very creative. It's almost like, you know, when you go into those what do they call them? Like situations where you deliberately go into a brainstorming session, or you deliberately set it up so that you're both going to challenge each other to be the best that you can be, and it's working really well, and you're bringing out the very best of each other, and you can see it and feel it and smell it happening in your lives. You can see the fertility of the relationship. You can see and smell the love in the relationship. You see the little Venus symbol there? That's right there. You see that? And it's happening. It's fertile. In other words, for you, Sagittarius, you are aware of the fertility and the abundance of this relationship and the ongoing opportunities and all the telltale signs that this has a lot of potential to improve here, even though you have this. Okay? So that's kind of cool, Sagittarius. In some ways, you're very lucky. In some ways, I'm actually very jealous of you. So have you noticed that we don't actually have, you see this? We don't actually have any cups cards here, which would be like the obvious type of, you know, lovey-dovey cards. But nevertheless, this is still a very loving reading. There's a lot of love energy here being expressed in ways that are not showing up in the cups cards, but in other ways, okay? So Sagittarius, in some ways, you're very lucky because you might be going through a chapter, you might be entering, like finishing up a chapter of life that might have been very grueling. You're still carrying some of the scars and challenges with you, but you know that they're going to be resolved and solved and dealt with going into the future because there's just so much love anyway. And it's just like you already own it. You don't even have to talk about it. It's there anyway. So what you're doing is actually enjoying the fruits of a loving relationship here. That's what this is all about. The Empress here is the ultimate like beauty, fruitfulness, abundance, creativity card. And it seems that this is where the relationship is going. Like deep, 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 deep down, this is what's happening. And you can start to smell it. So by the end of August, going into September, there's a very good chance you're going to actually see evidence of this Empress energy, where like something really beautiful is manifesting in your life, like a creative endeavor, a child, a new home, a new business, a new form. Maybe you're artists, writers, or musicians or something, or you're creatives of some kind. Or maybe you're just realizing and seeing how, even with the flaws and the challenges, the relationship comes into this abundance and fruition here. Let's pull one card from the Romance Angels for fun, okay? Who knows, this might pop some bubbles because it's a kind of a luscious reading. We're going to pull one card and then we're just going to read it, okay? So it's almost like this has nothing to do with Tarot Illumination except that we're trusting on divine guidance that the right card will show up for you, Sagittarius, okay? Now back to the beginning. Don't forget to read for your sun, moon, and rising, in case I forgot to tell you. And watch the introduction video for the whole playlist. And remember, we're dealing with the Leo eclipses and the Leo North Node. So put that all together in one blender and go, and then see what happens. So here is your card. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. And we have make the effort. I have a feeling that's related to this, dear Sagittarius. In other words, you're just like glowing. And so like, yeah, why should I deal with all this stuff? Why do I have to deal with it? So in the context of the relationship, because there is this strong hint of abundance and opportunity, let's put all the cards out so that you have a better awareness. Let's just do that, okay? Okay, it's getting kind of muddled in the imagery here, but I just wanted you to see all the cards. So it says here, from the Romance Angels, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Let's just see what they say, all right, just for fun. Ugh, I passed it already. Excuse me. Excuse me. Wait a minute. Where is it? G for great. Well, that's weird. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the wrong thing. It's supposed to be M, make for effort, make the effort. Duh. Here it is. Okay, here you go, Sag. You received this card because some action steps on your part are necessary in order for your prayers about your love life to be answered. The angels have opened the doors for you, and now it's time for you to walk through them. Duh! Duh! This is your opportunity. Duh! The first thing that comes to mind with respect to taking action is a good starting place for you. Duh. You know that this one is the starting place. So, when you ask for spiritual help to take care of this stuff, you always receive it. Often this help comes in the form of intuitive guidance, which consists of repetitive feelings and thoughts. You get the sense that you should do this or that, take care of this stuff, and you receive this card as a nudge to actually take that action. You will then receive the next piece of the puzzle, meaning another intuitive message about what to do, like a nudge follows a nudge follows a nudge, and it's up to you to take the hint, to go with it, because all it's going to do is make this stuff better. Okay? If you like, you can ask the angels to give you the motivation, the courage, the time, and the energy to take the steps to deal with this. I added that. Know that each one brings you closer upon the pathway to great love. So, isn't that just cool, Sagittarius? The pathway to great love. It's really just about doing a little bit of homework on yourself, because it's like you've obviously deeply invested in someone else, and someone's probably deeply vested in you. And I hope this works for you. If this makes total nonsense to you, please read for your moon and rising as well. Or sun and moon and rising, depends on which it is. But this stuff is looking pretty good here, Sagittarius, okay? So you might be one of the lucky ones in August. All right. Thank you so much for visiting. Take care. Have a super, super August season. All the eclipses in the Leo North Node. Okay, bye.